Bless up, bless up. Quick video about another thing that breaks my heart that I'm seeing in the SUD world. SUD meaning substance use disorder. Another thing that breaks my heart that I'm seeing, and I'm gonna talk about it. I'm gonna keep on talking about the things that bother me. I'm gonna keep on talking about it and getting it on people's radar, because I know it's some people listening, and the right person gonna hear my voice and do something about it. But man, let me rant a little bit, y'all. Like, what I notice is that with all this money going around for substance use disorder, you have organizations putting together grants, proposals, and taking on work they ain't never did before as it relates to addiction. You know what I'm saying? And I'm happy for a lot of the people that I know that are getting some opportunities to make a significant amount of money. You know what I'm saying? Because one thing that is starting to happen is people are starting to up those salaries. You feel me? Like, they upping those salaries now because they know for them to be able to get somebody solid to do that work, they're going to have to pay them, right? And so you got these organizations that's getting extra grant funding and implementing programs and stuff like that. And so they end up hiring up some of the most solid people. And then they have them doing work that is not maximizing what they bring to the table. They hire them to do work where they're not having the greatest impact, though they are making a good check. And I'd be happy for people, because Asheville, one of the most unaffordable places to live, you feel me? So I'd be happy, specifically for my friends in recovery that be getting these jobs, you know what I'm saying? These temporary jobs and these grant funded initiatives or whatever. But what breaks my heart, let me get here. What breaks my heart is when I get to the point to where I get emails from somebody who's trying to hire somebody to work with a population, and it's like a legit scope of work that they got the people that they want them to work in, and it's definitely a need. Like, let's say the place reached out to me, and I want to give y'all more details, but I ain't trying to really put the organization on blast, but I will say that the organization works with mothers. So when you start looking at working with women with children and stuff like that, and wanting to leverage your lived experience to work with the population, these women with children, you want to have some of the most solid women in those roles, the ones that's done practice. They practicing a solid recovery program. They tough, you know, their feelings don't get hurt easy. They know how to love people on purpose, with purpose. They know how to love through the storm. You know, people like that, you know, you want to have in them kind of programs, right? But when you look at what the salary is that they paying, it ain't a living wage. And so, like, for me, whenever I look at the job description, they reach out like, hey, do you have anybody solid for this position? In my mind, I'm like, yo, I'm ready to start recruiting, because I'm addicted to getting people jobs, if y'all didn't know that by now. But so when I say, then I email back, because they ain't include the salary in the job description. I say, what's the salary? And then when they tell me how much they paying, then I'm like, and it breaks my heart, because I know some people right now that are working in positions that need to be working with that population. You dig what I'm saying? They need to be maximizing their skill set instead of playing around. They could be maximizing their skill set to really have an impact, like with people that are at different stages of change. Now, granted, each person has their own experience that they have, and you know, you see people in the behavioral health field move around, because you'll get burnt out if you don't. That's why you caught me transitioning into the workforce development world for a while, and then into the behavioral health. Like, it wasn't always just addiction. You had to move around, because like when I worked at Neil Dobbins, hell, I burnt out. You know, them people that's boots on the ground, state funded, facility-based crisis units and stuff like that. Ooh, that's different kind of work. So you can't work there for no whole long time without having to move around for your own sanity. But I know some of these people, you know, might want some of the cake jobs, some of these cake peer support jobs, you know, and stuff like that, you know, because they need a break. But like, the reality of it is, man, it breaks my heart whenever you see these programs that need solid people, and they can't afford to pay solid people. But then you got these organizations that's coming out the woodworks, creating programs that ain't never did nothing, and they ain't doing nothing, that's getting money and then paying these big old salaries, you know what I'm saying, temporarily. But I can't be mad at the person, hell, because Asheville unaffordable, so I ain't mad at them. But I am doing this rant because I'm like, how can we offset the salaries for some of these positions? Because if you asking me, you start talking about working with women with children, come on, man. You start talking about prison reentry, come on, man. You start talking about these programs that require to have somebody solid, that's really got solid recovery, you know what I'm saying, and step in and really leverage their lived experience. And then they can't afford to pay no living wage. That's a problem that need to be addressed. If you ask me, that's a problem that need to be addressed. Cause like some of these jobs you be seeing peer supports do, you don't even need no peer support doing them. And I'm gonna talk about that too. Not yet, in due time. You know what I'm saying? Some of the stuff they be having these peer supports doing around here, I am not in agreement with it. But I'm just like, I'm staying in my lane right now because I got to stay focused on, you know, the task at hand. But my YouTube channel, I'm giving it to y'all. And some of y'all stakeholders, if you interested in any more details, you know what I'm saying, you want to lean into the details of some of this stuff I'm talking about, you know what I'm saying, holla at your boy. It ain't hard to find me. You know what I'm saying? Change Agent Cooper 84@gmail.com. You dig? It ain't hard to find me. And I'm ready to rock and roll. I'm ready to be a voice. I'm ready to be a part of the solution. I ain't just complaining. You feel me? There's some people that like to rally up all these meetings and stuff just to have complaining sessions. Not me. I done had it. I already know what time it is. You know what I'm saying? It's, when you got that experience as a service provider and a service recipient, it don't take you too long to see a gap and innovate a solution. It don't take long because you've been looking at it for so long. But yeah, man, I just wanted to rant a little bit about that, man. It sucks that some of the organizations that are doing good work can't afford to pay people living wages, and yet you got these other organizations getting all of this grant funding with all these new ideas, putting people to work with big salaries, and ain't even really maximizing what the person brings to the table. Picture me leaving what I'm doing right now to go be an executive assistant, because I'm a beast with the admin. You dig? Yeah, I'm a whole lot of beast with the admin. But picture me leaving my role to go be an executive assistant somewhere because it paid more. That wouldn't be right. I wouldn't even be fulfilled. You know what I'm saying? I say I compare it to that. But like, think on that, man. And some of the foundations, I know some of y'all follow my videos, man. For some of y'all, I want y'all to be thinking about that, man. Like, for real. Is that something that you would be interested in doing? Is offsetting salaries? Because we got to get these people living wages that's doing this very important work, man. For real. You got to get solid people to do the work. You got to pay them. You got to remember, this Asheville, man, one of the most unaffordable places, period. And I ain't mad at the organizations that can't pay a living wage, but I am expecting them to start advocating for more resources to be able to pay a living wage. Solution focus. My name is Change Agent Cooper. I'm not the answer, but I'm for damn sure the alternative.